Good morning. It's Monday, April 13th, and this is your distance learning lesson for today. This is going to become very familiar to you. Every day, reading will be 30 minutes. Again, your choice, Raz Kids, Epic, or a book of your choice. Remember that I'm looking for one Raz Kids story and quiz each week. And so I'll be able to see what you have done. Some of you are doing such a great job. I checked on last Friday. We are starting a new chapter in math. It is called Geometry, and this is where we will be discovering lines, angles, shapes, and symmetry. As you look through your workbook that you have now, you'll see that there's vocabulary cards on page 865 to 869, and those vocabulary cards will help you as we progress through the chapter. But our first lesson is drawing points, lines, and rays. So what do you need to know in order to draw points, lines, and rays? Well, I suspect you need to know what each of those are, right? So if you're drawing a point, it is the exact location that's represented by a dot. So here we have point A, and I could draw dots all over this and just put a letter next to them and they would be a point. The next thing we're looking at is a line, and a line is a straight set of points that extends in opposite directions without stopping. So let's take a look at this. Here we have line X, Y, because it is labeled with the 2 points. But do you see the arrows at the end? They both show that they're going on and not stopping. A ray then is a part of a line that has one endpoint and extends in one direction without ending. So take a look at this. This is ray AB, and we have one endpoint A, and then we have B, but then see how it extends on going? So here we have our key concepts for this chapter. If I were having you do this in the classroom, do you know what I always did? I brought in licorice and Skittles and candy corn, and let me explain why. Look at line in the top model. Do you see that's line AB? And I would have given you a piece of licorice for the line. I would have given you candy corn for the end arrows so that you could see that it goes on in the opposite directions. And then the points would be Skittles. So you'd have Skittle A, Skittle B. For the ray, we'd do the same thing. We'd put the long line of licorice, put one candy corn on one end because it goes on in one direction. And then end point, A would be a Skittle there and B a Skittle. And now this is one we didn't talk about in the previous slide, but there's another line. This is called a line segment because it has two endpoints, one at the beginning, one at the end. So if we were doing it in the classroom, I'd give you one long line of licorice with 2 Skittles to put at each end. These are the key concepts you need to know for the rest of the lesson. So on a sheet of paper right now, would you please draw each of these? Point J, line YZ, line segment KL, and ray MN. Stop the video and then we'll be able to correct when you start the video again. Okay, let's correct. Point J would be a point with a J next to it. A Skittle with a J next to it, right? Line is, here's an example with arrows at both ends because it goes on in both directions with 2 points right on the line, YZ. Line segment, that's the one you have to remember that has an endpoint at both ends. And finally, ray has only one endpoint and one arrow that shows it goes on and on. So would you turn to page 873 and find example 1. Molly drew the figure shown. Identify the figure she drew. The figure extends in opposite directions. The arrows indicate that it extends without ending, so it is called a line. This line is labeled with points X and Y, and there are two different ways that you can represent this. You can write the word line and then put capital X and Y next to it, or you can put X, Y, and draw a line above it, just like that. Let's go on to example 2. It says to draw a figure that could be represented by CD. Now, do you see any arrows above that CD? No, so that would be line segment CD. So I'm going to try to draw it here. Oh, it's not very straight. Sorry about that. But then I'm going to put a endpoint at each. Label one with a C and label one with a D. I hope your pencil works better than mine. Sorry about that. Okay, let's continue. Example 3. Identify the figure at the right. The figure has one endpoint and it has an arrow pointing in one direction without end. So that would be called ray AB. And it could be written with the word ray, or you could draw a ray above the capital letters AB. I often think of this like a ray of sunshine. A would be the sun, and the sun's rays would be shooting out. Now, what I want you to do is stop the video and complete number 1 through 4 at the top of page 874. When you have this completed, then please start the video again. Okay, let's do some correcting. Stop the video here and correct each of your items 1, 2, 3, 4. I just want you to know that you do not have to write both the word, like look at number 1. It has line segment QR or line segment QR. You can choose to write the symbol above the letters, or you can choose to write the words. It's your choice. Both are correct. Now let's see if you can do number 5 through 14 on page 875. Again, stop the video. When you've got it completed, start the video and you'll be able to correct your work. Here we have 5 through 8. Excuse me. You can continue the video after you've checked. And here are items 9 through 14. Now I want you to know that your drawing might not look exactly like mine. The key thing here is that when you're doing lines, rays, or line segments, it has to be straight. And you have to have the endpoints and the arrows correct. And you have to have the letters correct. But it can be tilted in any direction. Okay, now we have page 876. I'd like you to go through those problems and complete them, stop the video, and then when you're done, you may start the video and correct. Okay, let's look at number 15. I'd like to talk through these now as you're correcting. Identify the figure that is shown on the stop sign. So if we look up here, you see that there are 2 endpoints, so that has to be a line segment. For number 16, it says use a pencil to draw a different type of traffic sign than a stop sign, and then use a crayon or marker to show a line segment on that. So I'm actually going to draw, if I can, a yield sign, and I will put an endpoint there and an endpoint there, the best I can, and that would be a line segment. You have to look just to make sure that you've drawn straight lines and it has endpoints. And then we can continue to number 17, name 3 real-world examples of line segments and how are they different from rays? Well, no matter where you look to find a line segment, it just has to have an ending. a straight line with an ending. So they gave examples of the edge of a desk, edge of a book, edge of a ruler. And the difference between the line segment and array is that a line segment has 2 endpoints, but array only has 1 endpoint. Number 18, I can't show you the answer for this, but all you needed to do is take out a ruler if you have one and draw a line segment. So it needs to have an endpoint, a straight line, sorry again, and an endpoint. I don't have my ruler. And you should have it larger than 2 inches and less than 5 inches. And then let's go on to number 19, explain the similarities and differences of lines and line segments. Well, I think we should know this pretty well by now. Line segment has endpoints, and a line has arrows that it continues on forever. Now, your homework time. Do pages 877 to 878. I want you to do every item 1 through 11. When you've completed that page, please take a picture and submit it to me at Seesaw or email it to me. Today for your journal writing, I switched it up again. I know some of you are having difficulty with this. So every day I'm going to give you a new topic, but here's the deal. The key point is here, I want you to be writing every day. And so if you like a topic, you can write about it every single day. You may write about a new topic every day. You may take my topic or do one of your choice. My goal is that you're writing every day. So today, you would put today is Monday, April 13th, 2020. Your topic today is when I grow up. I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to write on the topic every day too. So I started. When I was little, I knew right away that when I grew up, I wanted to be a teacher. My grandma was a teacher, and I loved watching her correct papers and prepare lessons. So there's my example for you. I'm going to continue the read aloud today. Again, it's your choice to follow along, and it's chapter 25 of Framed. For science today, we're going to continue our magnets and electricity unit. And what I want you to do is get onto BrainPop. Please use the free subscription to BrainPop that was in your red folder. If you're having difficulty, please let me know. So get onto BrainPop, search electric circuits, watch that video, take the quiz, and when you're done, send me your score by using the note option on Seesaw. Mrs. Hotchkiss' skills for success today is squeezing your muscles really tight, holding it for 5 seconds and then relaxing. Then breathe deep and repeat that 3 times. How does it make you feel? And since today is Monday, it's Art Day. And these are the options that Miss Porter put down for your art this week. She asked you to use objects from around the house to create a picture of a face or a portrait, and taking a picture of it and submitting it to her is optional. Read a story and create new illustrations for your favorite part. So it looks like she just wants you drawing. Okay, thanks for working hard today. I know the lesson was a little bit longer because it had a math lesson in it. Make sure you, if you have any questions, you can email or call me. Have a great day.